you're a programmer, so you have a little bit of an insight where I don't. When Richard Hart comes out and he gives these crazy, obviously these are really high level devs. So when they're talking about super high level stuff. So even if I was a developer, um, I may not understand it, but I'll take what they say and try to really like, hey, I'm going to try to understand this 10% better than I did. So I'll break down terms and, do some Googling and stuff. And one of the things I wanted to ask you is when I hear the word programmer, I think developer, dev. Is that, where am I wrong? What's the difference? Or are they the same? Or what's the distinction?
They're pretty much the same what they mean right now. But back in the day, programmers were the ones that actually wrote the iOS or the operating system and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
And the developers would like develop on top of it. But nowadays, they pretty much mean the same thing, right? So
interesting. And what kind of languages do you work with when you say a
uh,
developer?
mobile development, so Java,
Java. Okay.
Swift for iOS. Yeah.
And when you heard Richard Hart say, hey, the majority of things built on crypto or built in crypto are old and they're constantly being hacked because they're not doing a good enough job with the development. And then we've seen a couple little pivots, and I don't want to go over all those, but I was wondering when you heard him say, hey, we're going to go to Golang, we're going to shift over. Is that because that's what's used by the most secure big software companies? Do you have
Yeah,
any insight in that?
some of them do use Golang. Yes, Google uses Golang, right? So, but it's not necessary to make a perfect program. So he could have. I think he wants to make his software as perfect as possible, like impossible to be hacked. But the thing with software is that it's not. It's never done. You can never have a perfect piece of software ever.
Yeah.
You constantly have to improve it. But I guess he wants to make it as perfect as possible. So that's the problem. I don't think he should have given out 2 weeks in May of 2022 because
I didn't care about any of the other updates. In 2 months, like I never put any value in that. But when he said May 15th, 50% chance, and then 1 week after that, 75% chance, I was like, oh, well, we're July 4th. I gave a guarantee to my wife. I was like, listen, I don't know about the May 15th, May 22nd, but July 4th, this thing is out. Like there's no, and I know he said, he was given the update and he gave it out, but it is very difficult to be like, if I'm working on a project that you've given me and it is sort of innovative and new. And I am a year and a half late. Like I don't know. It gets a little weird. I see how people can kind of question it or lose trust. But do you think this is obviously him trying to get it right, but more of a timing the market than anything else? Let's just keep working on it until we think the moment's right. Obviously, you don't know. I'm just asking for a guess.
Yeah, I think he's timing the market. I think that's what most people think. People that are against him think that he's timing the market. People that are for him think that he's timing the market. Everyone thinks that that's what he's doing because it's true. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm guessing while he's timing the market, he's improving the software over and over and over. I know that he switched away from the Bitcoin's ecosystem, Bitcoin Smart Chain version, to Ethereum 2.0's version of the coding that he's doing. So I guess that does take time, but I don't think it takes this much time. Like if I was working for any company ever, and I gave out an estimate, and I was like a year late, 2 years late, I'd be fired, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know how long it's going to take, but you do have a good idea of how long it's going to take. You always have a good idea,
and
like, always. So it's kind of that's why we say that he's definitely timing the market because you always know if I'm probably going to come out with it in the next 3 months for sure, guaranteed.
Right.